Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So it's currently Sunday. I don't normally start videoing on Monday, but I'm doing some water changes and some changes in the shrimp room, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to sort of show you guys around. So as I mentioned in the last video, I really wanted to reset this tank. I also want to, looking at how lethargic those shrimp are, I want to reset that as well. But what I've done for now is I've had this tank running. I've just done a 95% water change. There's a bit of algae in there. I'm setting it to the correct parameters using our new bin and wheel dolly. And what I've done is I've put some bacteria in there, but I've took out there's a double sponge in there as well. And what I've done, I've swapped one of the sides of the sponge filter for a new one and took the old one out. So that's going to add in there and bolster that. So beauty of having stuff on the shelves that I can utilise. So this tank I'm going to set up today. I'll test it tomorrow, and then what I'm thinking of doing is moving 50% of them over, or a small proportion, for a few days, see if they get a bit more active, see how things go. I did squeeze that sponge out actually over the box filter, get some of the muck and dirt out of there to sort of help in colonising or boost that. And what I'm probably going to do is, I'm in no rush, so I'm probably going to move a few, probably 30% actually, and I am going to move them all over before I select, because the tank that I want to select the higher grade ones into is down there and it's not ready. So I'm probably going to just move 50% over, leave them for 4 or 5 days, then move the other 50% over. Look at the quality of that shrimp. How amazing is that? But just a little update anyway. So I've done water changes as well. And if any of you notice the spots that I put on my tank, when I test or do a water change, I'll put a spot on. And I might have tested the GH, so this was a little bit low, that one was at 4. So what I've done is I've done a bigger water change on this tank and set my water to 5 to try and bring that up. And that's sort of how I sort of go through those. I write things into the little dots, but the orange this week is this week's water change. And then every so often I'll just get a blade scraper and I'll take them off and start again. So if anyone was wondering what those are for, that's what they're for. So that's me for today. I'm just going to continue to fill this tank up, and then we'll just let it set, and I'll sort of check and test it tomorrow, and we'll potentially move some shrimp over. Hello shrimp fans and welcome back. It's now Tuesday. I've done part of what I said I was going to do. So we've started moving some of the PRL out into the tank that we're going to move, but as I said, I'm only going to move a few at a time, so just sort of build that up. I have done water changes on these, so 95% water changes, and I did try to get a stand under there without moving stuff, but I've chipped the corner of that tank. So I think what I'm going to have to do is, when this one's ready, drain that, pull it out, then put the stand in place to put that back up. But I have put the stand in here, so these are all level now, and that's exactly what I did. I pulled this out and sort of move that across, and I finally made a decision on what I'm going to do on this top shelf. So because I want to sort of venture into breeding projects and stuff, I'm definitely not going to use this tank, but I have found some 25 by 25 by 41 long, and I think the plan is that I'm going to have 4 of those on this shelf and just use those for little breeding projects and stuff. See how I get on with that. But just a little update. It's Tuesday. I have been fed, and we'll pick up later in the week. So a bit later than planned. It's currently Sunday. I've not been well in health for the most of the week. So just a bit of an update then. We've moved out the pure red lines. Still need to break this tank down, but it does have some assassin snails in, as you can see by the carcasses, the empty shells in there. And we've moved those PRL over to the tank we said we were going to, so they're doing well. There's a bit of algae in there. They're eating a lot of the biofilm, so I have dropped a bit of food in, but they're not really interested in it. And the other things that we've done this week then, so if I haven't already mentioned, we've raised that small tank on the end, and we've started doing some work on the top shelf. So I'm waiting for my new tanks, but I'm waiting for another 2 of those to go in there. And we've got our tangerine tigers. I think there's a yellow neo in there, but I have spotted some babies as well, and a bit of an overload of ram's horn snails. Let's get that to focus. And we've got a big buried mama there, so she looks like she's due to drop. But I've spotted a few babies in here, so these seem to be doing better on that soil. Pretty much that's all we've done this week, I suppose, is just move things around. Still need to do that bottom tank. And then finally, I'll tell you what I have done actually. So I've got some snails in. So these are batik nerites. I'm going to put these up for sale. A couple of them didn't make it. We've got a few cappuccino snails in. Sorry, those aren't the cappuccinos. So we've got some black and white rabbits, and we've got a few cappuccino snails in as well. So for those of you that like to keep snails in with your shrimp, we've got some of those available, or I'll put those on the website shortly. And pretty much everything else is sort of doing fine. So short video this week, or shorter video. My PBL have become active, and I've started cycling this tank. So remember, we've only got these on the lighting that I showed you, and this is probably a week. And look at the algae in that already, so they might be a bit too powerful, so I'll just have to keep an eye on those, but they don't seem to be affecting the other tanks. And it may be that this soil's, because it's new, just got a lot of nitrogen in it. So I'm going to cycle it fully. I'll keep an eye on it. There's a lot of dust algae in there, and that was sort of stripped right down, and that tank was scrubbed as well. So something somebody was asking me in the week, actually, I know you've probably seen this before, is can you keep bristlenose plecos with shrimp? And there's your answer. I had that since it was about 1 centimetre, and it's been in my mixed tank ever since. So there's loads of babies in here actually, loads of them, which is good. Wouldn't mind seeing loads of babies in here. And hopefully moving these guys over, I'm hoping to see a load of babies in there too. So we go away for a short period, a week tomorrow. The business is still running. My lad's going to do any shipping and packing and stuff, and I'm probably going to put a video out next week. I'm not certain about the week after, but we'll have to wait and see, and obviously my health dependent on that. So this week's been really, really rough. I've really struggled, but we'll see how we get on anyway. And then just in closing for this week, we've got some nice new Indian almond leaving. So they're sort of hand size. They're a really good size, and in very, very good condition. Come in packs of 10. If anyone's looking for Indian almond leaf or catappa leaf, whatever you call that. Apologies for this week's video being a bit short. As I mentioned, my health hasn't been great, and I've tried to sort of put a little bit of content together for you guys, and we'll follow this or end this video with some footage of the shrimp again. Hopefully I've got some better footage than I usually do, so we'll see.